This is the boringest DVD cover in all of classic Doctor Who. I challenge you to find a solo release that isn't part of a box set with a less interesting cover than the Sunmakers. Because I don't know most of classic Doctor Who, a lot of the time the main thing I have to identify with them is the DVD cover, whether they be sitting on my shelves collecting dust for years or sitting in my online wish list out of stock. I try not to let DVD covers temper my expectations because, at the end of the day, they're DVD covers. Like, they're not the be-all, end-all. But that one is so boring that I was expecting the most mundane, by-the-numbers story. But I'll be a dead-gum son of a gun if this one wasn't one of my favoritist serials in recent memory. After two back-to-back four-parters that felt so... I wasn't expecting anything from yet another 1977 four-parter. But like I literally just said, I really, really enjoyed it. It begins with the most fascinating setup of this society on Pluto. Yes, the old ninth planet from the sun before experts changed their mind and said it wasn't a planet, Pluto. It feels like it's been so long since a story has gripped me before the Doctor and co even show up as much as this one did. I was so interested in the civilization, the hierarchy of power, the different classes of workers being oppressed by the company. One could almost call it a lethal company. No. While not the most original of concepts by today's standards, it's still fascinating. And, most importantly, it's all very clear and easy to understand. There's no withholding crucial information from the viewer or random allegories popping up left, right, and centre. Simple and to the point. You get the plight of the little guys and their ultimate goal to overthrow the oppressive regime. And that's your basic plot outline right there. The Doctor, Leela, and K9 are out to help the lower class break free of their overtaxed, borderline slavery way of living. When it was revealed that this strange smell in the air that was mentioned a couple of times by characters, when it was revealed that it was actually a toxic nerve agent released into the atmosphere as a way to make humans feel increased levels of fear, I was like, whoa, that's insanely brutal and such a clever idea the writers came up with. A chemical in the air that sends your anxiety levels through the roof, halting any thoughts of a revolution. It was so genuinely exciting. It felt refreshing to watch a serial with so much life injected into it. I feel I've become more accustomed to some of the slower, more methodical serials of season 14 and 15. But this one was so full of action and suspense, and not a moment of filler. Leela is once again an actual badass. And she's not the only one. There's a lot of loud and good acting. Sure, there's nothing wrong with the more subtle, quiet, contemplative nature of characters in recent serials. But it was just so nice to have characters be more boisterous and large in their performance and cheer for revolution, like such energy. And the villains were excellent and iconic. This Dr. Entropy, straight out of Crash Bandicoot looking dude, was having so much fun playing the character. He absolutely soaked up every moment of screen time, to the point where I had to wonder why he wasn't on the DVD cover.
Outrageous! Sacrilege! The work units are absolutely forbidden to see the light of the sun. It's far too good for them.
But when we do eventually meet this little guy, yeah, I get it. He's also a very cunning, devious, and cruel character. The two of them making for excellent, memorable villains. And his final moments led to the only what the heck moment of the whole thing for me, just for how out of nowhere it was. No spoilers, but it really did make me sit up in my chair like, wait, what? Huh? I felt really invested, engaged, and genuinely pleased when watching the whole thing. The Sunmakers is an easy recommendation from me. The best thing I can hope for during this marathon of a 7-year tenure for the Fourth Doctor is that a serial is memorable. Because there are even some ones recently that I do enjoy watching, and then I make my review and say, yeah, this is really cool, and then I just completely forget about them, which is a shame. But I have a feeling I'm going to be remembering this one. There were even 2 moments that made me laugh out loud, which is a lot these days, because, most of the time you just do a sharp exhale like... Or technically 3, if you include the final second of the serial. Did K9, a robot dog, just passive-aggressively sigh at the Doctor? Go watch The Sunmakers, and I hope you have a blast like I did. It's gonna suck if this is one of those secretly overrated ones. Hooray! Another short review. The only thing I forgot to mention is that right at the beginning of the story, the Doctor stops a man from jumping to his death. An objectively kind act, which I can't help but think was maybe done as a way to apologise for last week when he helped someone to unalive themselves. Yeah, I haven't forgotten, and I'm not going to let you forget either.